This farm fed Yorkshire after the war. I couldn't even begin to estimate the number of potatoes we've grown through the generations. It's a part of me as much as I'm a part of it. And all it takes for this to all disappear is a new law that was passed by those on high horses. The biggest weight around my neck is I don't want to be the generation that fails. And it's not through fault of our own, not through being a poor farmer, it's just through a tax. And that is the most heartbreaking thing about the whole thing. I stuck these in the shed just to see if it worked. A Hail Mary. And if it doesn't, I think we're just going to have to find out the hard way. Right, we'll go here then. So many of these. We have been farming on this site for 4 generations, and before that we were farming at Dunnington for another, say, 4 before that. So we've been farming around the York area on my grand side for probably two centuries. So yeah, been around the block. My great-granddad started with 50 acres and he was a potato merchant at the same time, so he traded potatoes out of Hull and York and traded them to Leeds. And then the war happened. The Ministry of Defence was giving away land very cheap, so we went from 50 acres to 3,000 in about 4 or 5 years' time. They still wanted to feed the nation because straight after the war, people needed to get fed, people were still on ration books. And it's all because of his hard work to get it turned round to where we are today. And it's through my dad's hard work that's carried it on. And Simon, the farm foreman, it's through his hard work that's carried on farming. It's these generational farmers that we are going to lose.
I came on a self-employed basis in 2003 and worked here ever since, and I took the management role in the end of 2018. Since COVID, it's been very difficult. Big fluctuations in price of what we're selling, big fluctuation in our inputs of what we're having to buy in, and it's just making it so difficult.
In farming, what people say is that you're the custodian of the land, really. It took my great-granddad his whole career to turn this farm into an arable farm. I don't want all that hard work of 4 generations to fail just because of a inheritance tax that's come in. Labour brought in the inheritance tax. There's a £2.5 million threshold. Now, we have vehicles, lots of them, that cost considerable amounts of money. Sheds, machines, and I'm already past that threshold before you even look at the land, which is the main asset. We're looking at about 6 million. That's just not possible. We are a farming family that get on very well. We have never asked my gran or anyone of the older generation to pass over shares. And unfortunately, because of this inheritance tax, it's to our detriment that that's happened. Asking a 93-year-old to survive another 7 years is quite cold-hearted, in my opinion. I've got such a beautiful family and they deserve to have what I had growing up, but also it's a knock-on effect to the wider picture of other families. So, you know, I've got 6 members of staff that work full-time. So if I reduce what I do on this farm, I'm reducing what they're getting out of the farm as well. It's farm economics. I don't want to be responsible for their families to look outside of not doing agriculture. You know, every single generation before me has carried it on, kept the acreage, managed to survive, and it's not through fault of our own, not through being a poor farmer, it's just through a tax. And that is the most heartbreaking thing about the whole thing. I was very happy in farming. I was happy sticking to my lane. I was happy, I knew what I was doing. I realised pretty quickly that we had to do something to give ourselves a fighting chance. So I started running through ideas, breaking them down. Ultimately, will the idea be big enough to make a difference? I looked at, farm shop. Loads of them went around the area. Quite a lot of them failed. Wedding venues, maybe looking at creating your own crisps, doing your own vodka. Looking over and over, came across Padel.
There's a new racket sport taking the spotlight, Padel. Last year saw 600% more clubs than in 2019, with around 90,000 people playing on a yearly basis.
I always look at London. We're about a year or two behind London up north. Whatever's trending down there, it usually spreads. From my experience, when all my friends come back home, they come for Christmas, they come and tell their whole family what they've been up to. They tell the whole family that they've been playing Padel. The family go, "What is Padel?" They go, "Haven't you got any courts up here?" They find a court, then they play, they get addicted, job done. It sounded good. It felt like it had legs. But will it work in a rural area of Yorkshire? I wasn't 100%, but I had to do something. And yeah, and it happened. I had a family member that had contacts in the Padel world. We measured out the potato store. It could fit 2 courts in, so we went with that. I set a deadline for the 8th of March to get it all done, dusted. The opening day, that's when we started putting flyers out, telling everyone it's going to happen on the 8th. That gave me 4 months from deciding to do Padel to getting the Padel courts in. Did everything go smoothly in those 4 months? No, not at all. 2 weeks before the courts arrived, we had another look at the floor, and the floor wasn't flat enough. The screed is meant to have at least a week to dry. I gave it 2 days. So a bit of a squeaky bum time moment, really. The transport of the courts from Spain, the wagon driver went too fast around a corner and smashed 2 panes of glass. They arrived on the farm day late. We had to lift them off with a telehandler, but we had to put ratchet straps all around it because the panes of glass were on a 45-degree angle. And as soon as I touched the glass, then that's my liability. So as soon as I start taking them off, then if I smashed all the panes, then that's all having on my watch. I thought we're going to have to set this a week back. I started the project, I was 106 kilos. By the time we were opening, I was 89 kilos. 17 kilos worth of stress. Don't go on Ozempic. Just have a bit of stress. Put some paddle courts in. That's the best idea. The evening before the opening, I was a wreck. Everything rested on the success of this day. If no one liked it, we might be back to square one. All the hard work, the heartache, it might be for nothing. I can't tell you the relief when I watch people turn up and play in our space. The laughter, the camaraderie, the passion, it was everything we had dreamed of. We got some incredible feedback, but one good day doesn't make a successful business. One of the main concerns was, did anyone know where we were? No one's been to our yard. How do they know we're here? After the open day, who had booked the courts? When we're in a very rural area, was anyone actually going to come afterwards? But I think that's the beauty of social media. Free advertising, isn't it? If we did this in the 1990s, it'd probably been impossible. Now, in the modern age, you can start sports facilities on farm level that's never had anyone there. That's the beauty of this. They started coming, getting used to it, actually enjoying the facility we produced, loving that we were in a rural area, and it just snowballed from there. And then we went from 60% capacity to 70% capacity to 80% capacity, and then during Christmas we were at 90% capacity. It's what the area is calling out for. I think setting up in a rural area means that you're not missing out on what people take for granted in the city. People move out here for a quieter life, but once you move out here, there's nothing really much to do. You know, you've got lovely walks and things like that, but what I'm hoping to grow is this place will be the social hub of the area. I don't think it would work without Padel. Padel is very accessible. The social side of the Padel is the main thing. It's quite hard to find a place where a lot of people come together. Padel has brought that. Without Andy, I don't know where we'd be. He has been the driver for the community. Going back to when I first opened up, the major stress was finding a coach. What's the point of having paddle courts if no one knows how to play? He's put people in, he's coached them, and he's made them loyal. In all sense of business, never take everything on yourself. You rely on people's strengths. So what's next for Paddle Farm? Hold on to your seatbelt. We are still going to be a working farm. We are still going to be combines out. We're still going to be lambing sheep. We're still going to be having the pigs on site. But I need those other aspects to make me survive. Who's to say that I can't help other farms saying that same thing up? The whole idea is to make it a destination, something that someone will click on and think, fantastic, I've never been to a spot like that. We want to be the major model for a rural paddle. That is what we're going to create. And we've still got a long way to go. We're by no means in the clear, but now we have a direction, a path to safety. I went into it trying to save the farm. I've come out with just a sense of knowing what I can do and how supportive people are of farms. I know that if I put my mind to something, it can work. You have to take that leap of faith. I've only got to say thank you so much to everyone in the local area who's come down to support me, because it's not just helping me, but you are helping the rest of my farm to stay where we are and support all the families that that farm is in charge of. This is just one chapter of this farm's journey, a story that spans generations. I am now custodian of this land, and I want to share it with you. Hey, sexy. He's lucky. I've just finished the interview. I'll let you in. Nah, love you.